Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Now, I'm not sure if I did this reaction, but I already seen like the Conjuring 4 trailer. Now I'm gonna do a reaction to like the actual story behind the new movie Conjuring 4, which is gonna be apparently the last ever Conjuring movie, which is actually sad to see because Ed and Lorraine Warren, like that duo, bro, is just unmatched for real. But let's check it out.
The Conjuring Last Rites. This movie is based on the true events of the Smurl Family Hauntings. It remains one of the most controversial cases in paranormal history, and is also known as the case Ed and Lorraine Warren couldn't solve. It all began in August.
The case they could not solve, bro. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I think the second was the one that was the most documented. I forgot the first one. I think it was like I don't know, but I know the second one was the one that was the most documented, like case of this, like and actually went to like trial. But this is the one they couldn't solve.
1973
Huh.
in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. A family purchased a new home after losing their previous one to flooding during Hurricane Agnes the year before. Jack and Janet Smurl, a working-class Catholic couple, moved into a modest duplex at 328 Chase Street. The couple had met in 1967 and married the following year. Jack served in the Navy and later became a neuropsychiatric technician. The house they purchased was ordinary, simple, clean, and quiet. Janet managed the household while raising 4 daughters, Dawn, Heather, and twins, Shannon and Karen. Jack's parents lived on the other side of the duplex. The initial hauntings began in January 1974. According to the Smurls, they started subtly. A strange stain appeared on one of the new carpets, which was impossible to remove. A water pipe broke, then mysteriously repaired itself. Radios turned on and off at random. Repairing tools disappeared and reappeared in odd places. And then, everything escalated. Over the next decade, things took a horrifying turn. A foul stench.
Bro, like I'm not gonna lie, bro. These type of movies this is why I love these. Like you can't really make a horror movie in the settings of today, modern day with smartphone and shit. Cause I don't think it'll be that scary because we have freaking TVs. But like when you like do movies set in like a period like in the 80s and 70s, it makes it way more creepier. God, I don't know. God, I feel like the time of like the old fashioned time is just like more scarier. If that makes sense.
Described as rotting flesh, would sweep through a horrifying turn. A foul stench, described as rotting flesh, would sweep through the rooms, only to vanish moments later. A television set burst into flames. Pipes leaked persistently, despite being resoldered. A new sink and bathtub became mysteriously scratched. In 1975, Dawn, the oldest daughter, began telling her parents that she saw people floating around her bedroom. Janet reported being violently grabbed and thrown down the stairs. Even their dog was lifted off the ground and hurled into a wall.
God
Jack
damn,
claimed
even
that a
the dog
succubus...
even the dog, bro. I noticed a theme with all these like horror movies is that it always revolves around a big family. Like it always like he has 4 daughters, a dog, and his 2 parents. Like it's always a big family.
A female demon, believed to seduce and assault men in their sleep, entered the living room and...
A succubus? Succubus?
A female demon, believed to seduce and assault men in their sleep, entered the living room and sexually assaulted him while a baseball game played on the TV. Neighbors...
Hey, bro, like, yo, where's this house at, bro? Where's the house at? I gotta talk to that female.
Entered the living room and sexually assaulted him while a baseball game played on the TV. Neighbors even reported hearing screams from the house while the family wasn't home. So, what exactly was happening inside that house? Some researchers claimed the duplex had been built on the site of a tragic flood in the 1800s. Others pointed to the original owner's rumored history of domestic violence. But one detail consistently surfaced. Before the Smurls moved in, the house had suffered major flood and fire damage. According...
What are we doing over here? Did they get this house for a cheap price? Is that why they moved in? But even then, if it's getting like flooded and they already got catch on fire, like why is it still up to this day?
According to paranormal lore, such events often act as conduits for spiritual infestations. In 1986, at their breaking point and to find answers, the Smurls reached out to renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed and Lorraine Warren were American paranormal...
Alright, but is that even a real thing? Demonologists? Are those like actual, like, is that an actual like thing you can get? Like, do people go to school to study demonology?
Investigators and authors associated with some of the most prominent alleged haunting cases in history. Ed was a self-taught and self-proclaimed demonologist, author...
Yeah, it's just like a word they just throw around. Um,
author and lecturer. Lorraine claimed to be clairvoyant and a light trance medium, someone who could see and feel supernatural presences. Sounds right out of the movies, isn't it? Their investigation began with questions about the Smurls' family life, religious
But still, I still mess with the movie duo. Like the movie duo, like they're legit doing the movies. I love it.
beliefs, and any possible involvement with the occult. Accompanied by registered nurse and psychic Rosemary Frew, they conducted a walkthrough of the house. With no signs of family dysfunction, tragedy, or occult practices that
Is this a shadow? Is this a shadow? What is this? It's literally like a shadow figure right here. Where I'm hovering my mouse, my cursor.
might have attracted spirits, the Warrens considered another possibility. The demon had been dormant for decades and awakened to draw energy from the daughter's puberty and the family's devout faith, both common triggers in poltergeist cases. They identified a bedroom closet as a potential crossover point between the two halves of the duplex and claimed to detect 4 evil entities in the house. They even started hearing pig noises from the walls. Ed Warren was totally convinced that the Smurls had a case of serious demonic infestation. So, with the church unwilling to come to their aid, Ed Warren brought a priest he knew to Chase Street. Father McKenna had performed more than 50 exorcisms for the Warrens in the past and was happy to help the troubled Smurls. Father McKenna performed the ancient rite at the Smurls' home, but it did nothing but serve to anger the demon even more. The family were now in the second demonic stage, oppression, which according to Ed Warren followed by the first stage, which was infestation, and the next stages would be possession and finally death. Lorraine concluded that the Smurls shared their home with 4 spirits, a harmless elderly woman, a possibly violent young girl, a man who had suffered and died in the home, and the most dangerous of all, the last spirit was a demon, the one manipulating the other 3 to destroy the family. A medium, Mary Alice Rinkman, examined the Smurls' home and confirmed the Warrens' findings. According to her, there were indeed 4 spirits present. She identified a man named Peter who had murdered his wife and her lover, and later been hung by a mob. And
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not condoning this, but that is a reasonable crash out. Cause his wife had a lover, had an affair. That is a reasonable crash out. But like killing them is actually OD. But still, crashing out over that, it's reasonable. But murdering them is OD though. That's too much. That's just pushing it.
Warren's findings. According to her, there were indeed 4 spirits present. She identified a man named Peter who had murdered his wife and her lover, and later been hung by a mob, and also an old woman named Abigail. Rinkman identified another spirit as a powerful demon, but was unable to give any details about the final spirit. Bishop McKenna performed a 3rd exorcism on the house, and this time it had seemed to have been successful. There were no more disturbances. 3 months later, however, it would appear that the ritual had not been such a success.
Right, bro. It's like the thing is, bro. I feel like if this shit is real, right, and you actually like have like a ghost or demon following you, the movies and horror movies always make it seem like it's GG's. You think they go away, but they're still there. They're just hiding, and then they come back, and then it's just GG's. Like you can never get rid of them.
Just before Christmas 1986, Jack Smurl saw a black figure he believed was beckoning him into the 3rd demonic stage, possession. He grabbed his rosary and prayed, and the figure disappeared. Their story of the Smurl family hauntings exploded in the media. Local newspapers ran headlines like "Haunted by Hell" and "Demon in the Duplex." TV crews, paranormal investigators, and skeptics swarmed the neighborhood. But the spotlight also raised skepticism. Many skeptics believed the entire haunting was fabricated for fame and financial gain.
My thing is, bro, where's the tapes? Like if you're literally talking about all this haunting and you're saying you're catching on tape, where are the tapes? Where's like the actual proof of this? Like, because that's what I hate. People never have actual proof. They make claims to stuff like this, but they never actually have proof.
One of the leading critics was Paul Kurtz, chairman of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, CSI COP. As media attention surged, Kurtz launched an investigation, sending 2 teams to West Pittston and contacting both journalists and the Smurl family. Kurtz concluded, "Our investigation of the Smurl case thus far points to several possible alternative explanations, without the need to invoke an occult or paranormal one." The investigation also raised serious questions regarding Ed and Lorraine Warren. Are they even real paranormal investigators, or are they faking everything? When investigators arrived, Ed and Lorraine Warren blocked them from entering the house, despite earlier permission.
They blocked them, huh? Now this whole thing makes it sound realistically. It's realistically it makes it sound like worse now because it doesn't seem real anymore because they're blocking people from actually investigating the home, which is it's interesting.
Mission from the Smurls. Kurtz was also denied access to the Warrens' supposed video and audio
Even they
evidence, with
couldn't even
vague
watch the
excuses
videos.
like the tapes were sent to the church or loaned to a TV company
Bro,
Ed
what
couldn't
church
name.
has the
For any
tapes?
demonological claims to be accepted, they must be corroborated by independent observers. But we were denied the opportunity to examine the site or freely question the claimants. Kurtz also discovered neighbors had complained for years about foul smells from a broken sewer pipe, a mundane source for the hauntings' stench. Strange noises were traced to walls next to teenage daughter Dawn's room, raising suspicions of attention-seeking behavior. The Smurls declined psychological testing. Most tellingly, Kurtz pointed to the family's book deal.
Do you think this is all like not an actual hunting, but it's all psychological? Like they're just like messed up psychologically.
The fact that the Smurls have signed a book contract raises
So you know
serious
what is
questions about
powerful.
their motives. The public
They
is
make it
far more
believe things that
fascinated
are
by
actually
demons and ghosts than the possibility of a prank or hoax. But here's the key detail. The Smurls never moved, even though they had every reason to, and they never made large profits from the book or the later TV movie. In fact, they were often
Wait, they were making shows and but yeah, this is definitely fabricated. This is definitely all hoax. If they literally legit have a book and a TV, nah. They definitely have money to move.
humiliated by neighbors who
Yeah,
made large profits from the book sale.
wait,
The
they've
Smurls
never.
never moved, even though they had every reason to, and they never made large profits from the book or the later TV movie. In
Oh, they
fact, they
never.
were often
Oh, never
humiliated
mind.
by neighbors, by church members, and by the press. Why would a family endure that unless they truly believed something was happening, or they wanted us to believe their lies? By 1989, the Catholic Church officially stated that they found no evidence of demonic activity. Tensions between the Warrens and local clergy escalated. The church banned the couple from further involvement. Still,
Damn.
the Smurls remained convinced. They even claimed the activity followed them when they left the house temporarily. That's what makes this case unique. It wasn't just about the house. The entity or the demon was attached to the family. Many
Yo, if that's real, bro, GG's, because you're not getting rid of that demon.
dismiss these claims, but trauma experts now argue that extreme psychological and spiritual duress can manifest as hauntings,
This shit
metaphors for
continues.
unresolved trauma. So, was the demon real, or was it the projection of a fractured psyche? And why did so many unrelated witnesses, neighbors, priests, reporters, also experience strange phenomena? In 1989, the Smurls finally moved to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. According to them, the activity stopped.
But didn't they just say that it follows them no matter where they go?
Strange, isn't it? They first claimed that the demon was following them outside the house, and suddenly when they move into another house and it's just gone, the Smurl case remains one of the most psychologically disturbing and morally complex investigations the Warrens ever faced. Unlike other cases, it deals with long-term mental decline, emotional trauma, spiritual terror, and possibly collective delusion. So, if you
I think
in
it's definitely
2007, Robert
not bad, but it's definitely like some psychological like delusion. It just makes more sense, especially since like their parents are pushing this agenda of being haunted. I think like the kids, obviously these are. I think there was like some two teenagers and two kids. They're definitely gonna start believing it, especially if your parents are like forcing you to psychology believe it. It's just I don't know. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Let me know what y'all want me to react to next, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.